ese sueño que corre y se detiene con un diente de animal. Y cuando cruce el paso de las piedras, lastime el ojo igual que una culebra. Es el diablo en el lecho, velando al acecho con la pluma en la. Es un sangriento pájaro que espera, mi corazón temblando en la ribera, como una ave cazadora va a circular, que lleva nube y canoa, carcará creciente, al fin la corriente me va a matar. Uno pena y sangre, el otro mata y crece. Río y hombre pasan y uno y otro envejece. Lento al infinito, la espuma trae olor de un amor marchito. Pico en carne viva, corta los días, pasa y se va. Ese sueño que corre y se detiene es como un diente de animal, donde aprendí a cantar lo que brilla y a caminar comiéndome la orilla. Y crecí en la alegría de su cacería, mirando el amor que a veces cruza con un corto vuelo, que hay que alcanzar picando desde el cielo, como una ave cazadora, agua circular, que lleva nube y canoa, carcará, asesino ciego y camino de oscuridad. Uno pena y sangre, el otro mata y crece. Río y hombre pasan y uno y otro envejece. Vuela un reflejo, la vida queda ahogándose en tus espejos. Cuando me haya ido tu luz de olvido, voy a flotar. Cantas en las canciones del alma, ay, ay, ay. Una manera de estar contigo, ay, ay, ay. Selvas para atravesar. Piensa de otra manera, lluvia y así te espera, como resinadas en el tiempo. Para cantarme. Afuera llena la luna llena y entre tu pelo brilla esa luna, brilla como el lucero, noche prendió su fuego, todos los elementos besos y las almas. Pienso si yo pudiera tiempo, parar de tiempo, para corriendo ir a casa. Azules de primavera, juntos en las canciones del alma, ay, ay, ay. Una manera de estar contigo, ay, ay, ay. Selvas para atravesar, esa que pudiera tiempo, parar de tiempo, corro y parece que está. We are very happy to be here, and we're gonna show you some songs argentinas del folclore argentino, ours and from other people, and that's my English.
Set up.
Cuando la luna se cae al suelo y un velo negro vela este sueño. Sueño soñado, sueño sediento de amaneceres que van creciendo con el espejo manso de río y mil canoas que va meciendo.
Here I am. Alright, I gotta move this over.
Pasa este río que pasaré, mece que mece el río si estero,
Voila.
mece un soleado borde de.
Alright. So we're gonna see what happens today. I'm back. Bigger than ever. Well, hold on, small. How do I do this? Just like that. Alright. I can turn this off. The stream has started. Welcome. I'm not going to put the chat on the screen because, well, for one, it always is resetting. And for two, if I want to repost this, then everybody's chat names are there and stuff. So if I want, for example, if I want to cut it up into little pieces and stuff. So this is the way, but I'm still reading the chat. You just won't see the chat on the screen. But hey, Tom Accordion, and hey, Birdie Wooster, and hey, Accordion in Paradise. Today, I'm live streaming on a bunch of different platforms, despite the fact that Twitch just announced that for everybody, hey, Magnus, for everybody, every streamer on Twitch, you are no longer allowed to multi-stream, which is one of the reasons why I downgraded. Hey, Duck Brook, what do they call it? Offboarded. I offboarded from being a Twitch affiliate, and the fact that everybody, the ads were driving everybody crazy. So we will see. But you have options now. So we're going to see how long this lasts. I don't know. I'm live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and also Twitter. Those four. I just made a Twitter account for Rising Read today. I tried to go live on TikTok, but you have to have 1,000 followers, and I just set up a TikTok account with my email and on the computer today, so I do not have any followers. And Instagram, you just can't. I don't know. I'm not sure. They haven't rolled the features out for everybody yet. Anyway, that's a little bit of the updates on this kind of stuff. We're going to see what happens. What we were just checking out is this band called Asa Seca Trio. And the description for this show, today's show, is viewer suggestions from you. So whenever you want, throw a YouTube link into the chat and we'll listen to it. But just remember that I cannot play anything that the audio has been uploaded to the big streaming services such as Spotify, Apple Music, etc. That's copyright, and that will get me a copyright strike, and then my account could get taken away. So we can't do that, but anything that's like a live version. So that's why I found this group. This is a live concert that they did where? Looks like Germany somewhere. Let's check this out. Radio Bremen? I don't know. Jazz Ahead Trade Fair. I don't know where this is, but this band is really amazing. This band Asa Seca, and I was just in New Orleans for 2 weeks. I was home last week, but I needed to just relax and recover last week. I just got home, I think, late Monday night last week, and so I decided I'm not going to live stream, even though I was home last Tuesday. But the 2 Tuesdays before that, I was down in New Orleans at the amazing workshops with Jacques Mornay and Natalie Bouchex and a whole bunch of other fellow students. I was a student there, and it was just phenomenal. People who are watching the stream regularly, you will know that I've been talking them up, and I've just in February I was over there. And some of you watching the stream are students of theirs as well, fellow students. And it's just every time I study with them, I come away with a deeper understanding of the approach to the accordion, and a deeper understanding of, well, just a further connection to the musicality, to the heart and soul of what we're doing, which is always great. This band, Asa Seca, my friend Yusa showed me. I had, for personal reasons, well, Yusa is a friend of mine, and we're going to start by watching a video of Yusa's. I have this like little journey, just because I had, over the last couple of weeks, I had such a rich experience hanging out with different musicians. And, you know, when you hang out with your friends, people share this, that, the other thing. So let's see, let's check out Yusa here. Hang on, sorry. All my tabs are auto playing. Nope. Let's see. Oh, I know where it is. It's on the playlist. One moment, guys. So my friend Yusa, who I know through a mutual friend, I saw her this 2 weeks ago down in New Orleans, and I know her from New Orleans. She's an amazing musician, originally from Cuba, but she's a citizen of the world. I think her entire life, she's been traveling. I mean, I think it's since the late teenage years. And as far as I know, I haven't known her for very long. She's one of the most amazing musical people I've ever met in my entire life. She's like a bodhisattva of music or something. And in addition, a really amazing human being, as is usually the case. But Yusa, I was hanging out with Yusa. Yusa had lived in Argentina for a long time. And so we were hanging out, and then just something came to my mind, this genre called Zamba. Not Samba with an S, but Zamba with a Z. And it's something I've seen on recordings, like Dino Saluzzi, this bandoneon player, plays some Zambas. And then in this wonderful method book that I love to work out of on the freebase called Mi Primero Año con el Bandoneon, my first year with the bandoneon. It's a really fantastic little method book for getting you going on the bandoneon, which is perfect for the machine of freebase, probably for all the other freebase systems too. Anyways, there's some Zambas in there as well. And I'm like, what the heck is a Zamba? So I asked Yusa, and she kind of, that put us down this amazing journey of her sharing some really incredible Argentinian music. So I thought I'd just kick off the show today with Yusa. This is about a 5-minute video, and it starts, I'm not sure where this performance is. The bass player is this guy, Nick, that I played with a lot in New Orleans when I lived there. He's absolutely unbelievable musician, and the nicest guy. And I don't know any of the other musicians, nor do I know where this was recorded. But let's check out Yusa's music.
Nelson Omaña, señoras y señores.
It starts like we join it right in the middle of this kind of open jam thing, but it gets back to the melody pretty soon.
No sabe que llega a rodear como reloj de arena, camina, que el tiempo camina y no espera, si tiene partida ni avisa que llega. Qué pena, el tiempo no tenga respuesta sincera, no sabe que llega a rodear como reloj de arena. Yemaya, loco. Hay un amor en el apuros por el malecón, unos brazos que procuran ser acompañados, la impaciencia del encuentro, por otra parte el descuento anuncia, tendrás que esperar. Camina, camina, marché, super marché. du Paris, ce sentiment que je l'ai. Réveille-toi, ferme la télé. Oye, hoy, on va faire un grand échappé. Qui os a dit que l'unique façon de vivre sont devant de ton destin? Les signes de liberté, encore où tout on a rien. Demain, tu n'es pas un corbeau. Les soins sont les combustibles. El amor, el alimento del cuerpo. Yemaya, Yemaya, Olodo. Yemaya, 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 Olodo. Yemaya, Aboyomi, Yemaya. Del campo vengo regando mi canto sobre las flores. Desde el campo vengo regando mi canto sobre las flores. Los pajarillos del campo nacieron para volar. Los pajarillos del campo nacieron para cantar.
Yeah.
Leonel Gaso y Rodrigo Villanueva.
Oh, so good. So good. So that's Yusa. That's just one of her songs, one of her bands. Her main, I mean, she plays everything. I remember a particular night at this friend's house. So I had my accordion on, and I forget what led to it, but she said, "Okay, just move the bellows." And she, with two hands, played my accordion. This amazing, like what she would play on piano. And I just moved the bellows, and all her amazing voicings and like all these lines and all this sort of stuff was coming out of my face. I wish it was recorded. Anyways, so I was hanging out with Yusa, and I brought up Zamba, and she said, we have Zamba, so let's check out Zamba. So this is like just deeper into Argentinian music, the music of Argentina, and also I think, Uruguay, Paraguay. Here we go. Okay, so here's some Zamba with dancing. With dancing, with bandoneon, with a band here. With She told me about Zamba a little bit. She said, "Oh yeah." And she started singing the rhythms and stuff. And she said, "Okay, Zamba is kind of slower. And then there's another, there's these other families." And I said, "Oh yeah, we were just, I do this live stream and we were checking out chamamé." And she got really excited and told me about this big chamamé festival that she's played and just how, anyway, so let's watch this video first.
Con razón te sientas al frente. Entonces, bueno, vayan preparando los pañuelitos. El que quiera cantar también lo puede hacer. Y vamos todos juntos. Zambita. Comenzamos con la talinita.
right, I'll sort of fade that out. How cool is that? So cool. Zamba, and I love it. It's just at somebody's house. Those are the really cool. This reminds me sort of the when Matt was on, or when we did the Lautari musicians, like from Romania and Serbia. That was so many of them. You're just in somebody's living room or their wedding or whatever. It's just great music in the context, you know. So cool. Okay, and chat. Let's see. Here we go. All right, now we got some stuff in the chat. Bertie Worcester says, "I love the dancing with those seductive handkerchiefs." Me too. And Driftless Dawn says, "Such a great band and the dancing pure joy." I agree with you both, or I feel the same way. So cool. So thinking like linear. So I asked Yusa about Zamba, and she said, "Oh, Zamba," and she started singing the patterns. And I said, "Well, that reminds me of sort of shamami music." And she said, "Yeah, you know, that drum is the same drum. It's used in all of these different folk musics from Argentina." I'll show you the drum. And she was just talking about, you know, how powerful it is and all that sort of stuff. Let's see. We see the drum right at the beginning. There we go. Okay, this drum right there. So then she got really excited and started telling me about these boyadoras. And my Spanish pronunciation is not the best, but I was looking for I could not find the video that she showed me, which was amazing. Of course, it was like the grand master of dancing and the boyadoras. Let me just hit play and you can check this out. Really incredible stuff. This video is only 30 seconds. So cool. I'm gonna try to see. I'll hit her up and see if she can send me that. I think it was on like Facebook or something. She found it, but it was like this master teacher and his family, his wife and his son, these amazing drummers and dancers and stuff. Sarah, hey. Hey Sarah Bellows, I want those pants. I know everybody's looking so stylish. Anyway. And then from there, then she said, "Okay, well, how about this band Asaseca Trio?" So you know how conversations go. So that was the music that we listened to at the very beginning of the stream, Asaseca, and she played that for me. The album, I would suggest, I'll put it in the chat here, Asaseca. I can't play the album, of course. And she said that they're like the new generation, but like super important already, you know, musically. And you listen to that, and it's these three musicians. Well, we'll listen to a little bit more of it. Start at the top. Let's see, where's Asaseca? Here. Okay, yeah. Here we go. So one thing that I noticed is they use these amazing harmonies. And these really, like, they'll get really, really close singing, you know, these parts that are like a whole half step away. Incredible. All right, that's enough of Asaseca. I was listening to Asaseca a lot just, you know, you find something and like, oh, I'm going to soak in on that. And that led me to, let's see, Don Olympio. And Don Olympio is another Argentinian band. That led me, like, Spotify, I think, recommended them after the Asa Seca record was over. And I was like, holy cow, I love this too. And it's so cool to find this, just, you know, how we listen and we explore more and more of this. It's not chamamé, not tango. It's these other, you know, other genres and styles and stuff. So from there, I found that. And here's Don Olympio. I would recommend them as a channel. I should subscribe to them. They have stuff that I can't play. That's really fantastic. Like this one right here, where I'm moving my mouse, is actually a record that's released on the streaming services, so we can't listen to it, but it's incredible. It has a lot of that drumming with that drum. Okay, but here's the one we can listen to. Expand. And there is bandoneon, but the bandoneon player is right behind the singer, so you got to look carefully.
No viene de los ríos ni la montaña, este aire de suburbio que mi alma empaña. Es como si brotara desde el asfalto, transpirando mi pampa, fiebre y espanto. ¿A dónde está la gente que en noches mansas abrigaba en veredas sus esperanzas? Presos como un castigo, penas y quejas van destruyendo sueños, reja tras reja. Falsos dioses conjuran para el engaño. Esta maldita huella nos van dejando. Yo soy de esta llanura y a ella le canto, vestida de cemento, guarda su campo. Se me hace que estas coplas son como un rezo, un grito en el silencio, no más que eso. Aires de este suburbio llenos de historia entran a mi guitarra que trae memoria, cargada de tensiones, vibra en mis manos. Quiero calmar su enojo, pero es en vano. Falsos dioses conjuran para el engaño. Y esta maldita huella, y esta maldita huella nos van dejando.
So cool. Oh, I loved that. All right. Okay. So then finally on this little journey of just fun stuff that I've been totally digging, I gotta say, this whole world of Argentinian musicians is so inspiring to me. There's something about all of the music that is just makes me feel amazing and really inspires me. To me, the level of musicianship is so high. They play with such kind of the folk aesthetic of like, it feels real and it has these components which feel very much for listeners and for dancers, you know, but at the same time it possesses this immense complexity and mastery of the instruments that sort of I associate maybe with more with classical music, like dynamics and articulations and the ability for the ensemble to do these really incredible things all together. And just all the different grooves and stuff. So cool. Okay, so the last one, and I got a plug. Come on, people, put a YouTube video in the chat. Peter Stan is watching. What's up, Peter? Very cool. Yeah, throw a YouTube video in the chat here, everybody. It's a viewer contribution show. I try to do one of these a month. They're always fun, but it requires you, the viewer, to give to us cool accordion YouTube videos. I know that you're listening to them. Finally, this video, which I just found this morning, but I think I watched this like 3 or 4 times already this morning. I can't get enough of it. Where is he? Leonel Gasso. Wow, this bandoneon player is gonna sing, and then there's a cajon drummer. Oh my gosh, the way I just love the bandoneon. It's ideal for, especially for me, as I play this instrument that is all freebass. It's all freebass in both hands, and I think it's more related to the bandoneon than it is related to the Stradella accordion, this instrument. Because you have to conceptually, you have to think of it differently. I hope that's coming through and not distorting. But you have these huge structures in the left hand. You get, as George Secor said, you get to make your voicings. You don't have to make your chords. You get to make them. So I can make these huge things that are unplayable on some instruments, like the root, the 10th, which is the 3rd an octave higher. And above that, I have the 7th. Which is really ideal for the way the accordion reeds work. And the bandoneon musicians, for me, their instrument is laid out differently, but it does the same thing. And so they have figured out all these unbelievable harmonies, and they've figured out how to voice it across the instrument to make just such great music. Anyway, here's this guy, Leonel. I really love this.
Soy Rodrigo Villanueva.
Y se escucha repiquetear de los tamborines que están de Piripuyamba. Tóqueme bien el candombe para bailar, porque soy moreno oriental y me gusta el cuero. cuando está sonando un tambor, se juntan las penas de amor, se vive el momento. Eco ancestral que aviva la llama al ser y a su monocorde sonar mi pasado encuentro. Sal a bailar y siga la danza sensual, bailen al son del ritmo africano. Nuestro candombe es para gozar y sentir, mientras se haya un negro y un tambor que esté mano a mano. Ya está que arde el viricuyamba, no hay un motivo que aquiete el cuero. Los bailarines danzan contentos al sol del repicar de los candomberos. Baila el moreno, el blanco lo imita, se confunden los mismos pasos. En el candombe todos se agitan porque cuando llama el baile un tambor, la sangre palpita. Ya está que arde el viricuyamba, no hay un motivo que aquiete el cuero. Los bailarines danzan contentos al sol del repicar de los candomberos. Baila el moreno, el blanco bebita, ya se confunden los mismos pasos. Todos se agitan porque cuando llama el baile el tambor, la sangre palpita.
Oh,
Rodrigo Villanueva.
I like that. Just bravo. No, that was incredible. Cool. Yep. That's maybe the fourth time I've seen that today. Wow. Just love it. It's I don't know. It's that quality, you know, that feels improvised but just played perfectly. I think that's what we're all going for, you know. And so it's hard. Like I was just at the camp for 2 weeks learning with Jacques Mornay and Natalie Bouchex, and they're pushing you and you're learning new stuff. And then they have this wonderful format, which makes sense. They call it a stage intensive. And I've talked to other people like, oh yeah, my roommate is a chef and he's doing a stage or whatever. Stage is an intensive time period. So you go and it's just morning to night and you're just in the thing day after day after day. And that is a very condensed way, intensive way. And that is the system that they have at cinema that they take around the world. And anyway, it's uncomfortable because at the end of the week, you know, you bring a piece to them and they're teaching you new things in these group classes, new concepts. And then every day you're having a couple lessons with them on the material, and they're, okay, do this, that's great, here, try this, blah, blah, blah. And you're trying all this new stuff, and then you perform it at the concert on Friday night. And it's not in you yet, you know what I mean? But it's part of the learning process. You know, we have to practice performing, and very often, especially in that sort of environment, like a student recital, they call it a concert, but it's safe to try all your stuff there. But you're sort of handcuffed a little bit. You know, you can't do your normal stuff because you're not trying to use the bellas differently and use your fingers and all that sort of stuff. But where we want to go is we want to take all our new techniques and we want them to become natural and native, you know, and then to play that way, that's just like speaking. And I think that's, I don't know, all the music we listen to today feels very, very much like that. So that sort of concludes my first little kind of journey of stuff to share with you that I thought was cool, all because I had the opportunity to see Yusa, who's just such an amazing human, and well, yeah. Okay, so yay. All right, this is great. Okay, cool. Thank you, Driftless Dawn. So let's see, how do I do that? Oh, this is weird. Sorry, Driftless Dawn sent a YouTube link, but I'm trying to figure out how I can interact with that YouTube link. I've never actually tried that. Give me 1 second, everybody. I think I have to go onto my Twitch account. Let's see. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, now I got it. Okay, and thank you for sending this, Driftless Dawn. All right, there we go. We have our first contribution. So this is great because the other thing I have a few, you know, I have a little like Word document here where I have some fun things, just because life is rich, you know, music, listening to music and talking to musicians and hanging out. Sorry, that's my neighborhood. Talking about rich life. My neighborhood loves very loud cars. That's their music, I guess. No, they also blast music too, which is really cool. But anyway, I have the windows open. It's a beautiful day. We had some rain. It took the rest of the smoke out of the air. Anyways, love listening to music. But this Driftless Dawn's contribution will tie in directly with another theme, which is today is the start of Django in June, which I've taught at many years, but also not taught at many years. And hello to everybody at Django in June. You're not watching this. You're probably driving to Django in June. I think the orientation starts Tuesday night, and then it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think that's how it works. 4 days of classes, Wednesday through Saturday, and then you leave Sunday, if I remember correctly. Anyways, and Cha Limburger is an amazing musician, but also someone who has taught a few times at Django in June, and is cool. Oh, this is awesome. Let's see, share this tab instead. Here we go. This is from Driftless Dawn in the chat here. Driftless Dawn says this is a clip of Cha Limburger playing a dance from Asia Minor. Awesome. Wow. Amazing. And so intense. The recording was kind of interesting. I felt like I was hearing like a bass in there, but it was probably just, I don't know, left hand of the accordion player. Very cool. What else is on this channel? Greek accordionist. Right on. All right, Demos. Driftless Dawn, how did you find your way to this video? Taksim, cool. Improvisation for a violin and accordion, so cool. Right on, Driftless Dawn. Very, very cool. Yeah. Voltango, Romanian suite. Let's listen to this one. I did? Cool. I'm laughing because I asked Driftless on how they found this, and they said, you told me about Shock. All right. Okay. I'm digging it, but I want to kind of check out some other stuff. But that's really, really beautiful. Okay, so in the spirit of Django and June, you know what? Actually, here, I'm going to talk about something else. So I'm going to try in July. Let's see. There we go. A Rising Read book club. So this is a book that's been referenced on the stream before. I have the video. Let's see. Where is that guy? Here we go. This guy. We have watched this video before. Let me make this big. I don't remember on what stream exactly because there's a lot of like kind of a lot of overlap of these ideas, so I don't remember which one it is. I'll play a little bit of his introduction. This guy, Ronald Houston.
Throughout the years, I've spent a lot of time reading books about music and how to get great musical ideas and learn. So I thought it would be a really, really cool idea if I would talk about some of the books that I've read throughout the years and what I've learned from them. Today, I think I'll start with a book called Casals and the Art of Interpretation by David Bloom. Pablo Casals, of course.
Okay, so this is what hit me to this. And then a friend sent me a copy of this. And so a friend, and who is also a viewer of the stream, sent me this as a gift, which I love. It's I interpret it as for my birthday, which is going to be here on Sunday. And I thought, well, this is really fun. I like continuing to enrich my life, and I think reading is good. I do very, very little of it. So I thought, well, I'm going to see. If nothing else, then me and the person who gave me this are going to read this in the month of July, and I'm going to talk about it on the stream. But if any of you are interested, I would love if you do it with me. I'll have a little bit more details. I think we can do about 2 chapters a week. It's like 50 pages. It's about the content of the book is about 200 pages. So I think 50 pages a week is not too bad. Just do what you can. And this is a legendary book. I remember my piano teacher in college telling me about some of these ideas. I think that this book is legendary, but the teachings of Pablo Casals. And I was just starting to do some research a little bit, preparing this morning, some videos. And it seems like Pablo Casals is known in many, many aspects, sort of as a humanitarian and all sorts of things. There's a lot of cool documentaries made about him in the 1950s, which we could check out. So I think I'm going to integrate those into live streams and into the website content. So this is the Rising Read Book Club. And if you're not a member of community.risingread.com, it's my free online accordion community. I'm putting that in the chat. I'll make a little overlay for that too. But that will be also where I post more stuff about this, about the book club thing, but I'm trying to sort of integrate stuff. So that sounds fun. Join us, get the book from your library or Amazon or wherever you get it, used bookstore. Okay. Back to, let's see, let's watch one more video and then we'll go to Bertie Wooster's suggestion here. So just to continue the theme of Django and June, which was started from Driftless Dawn, the accordion teacher this year at Django and June is a guy that I've heard of because some of my musician friends in the Boston area know him. And I've been hearing about how burnin' he is. And everybody that I know that mentions him just does so with such a smile on their face. And let's see, was I able to save this video? Hopefully it's in the tab. I got to find the video that I want to show, guys. Sorry. His name is Giorgio Albanese or Albanese. I don't know. I'm not positive. And had the pleasure to have a little conversation with him because the organizer of Django and June said, oh, yeah, when you're playing, why don't you give Dallas a call? He's done it a million times and can sort of give you, you can ask him any questions, really, basically. And so, boy, was that a pleasure. I mean, I'm always happy to help everybody, but it just turned out to be a really, really cool conversation with Gio, I think he prefers to be called. And he sort of presented his, I told him my thoughts of when I had taught, I thought successfully, and when in the earlier years when I hadn't, it was for a while there, it was my own sort of learning process, but I was really making it a lot like lecture based and presenting all these things. And that wasn't really helping people in the right way. and I sort of learned that I need to change my approach. I think for the better. I think to be much more hands-on and activity-based rather than these sort of lecture classes. I don't know what I was thinking, but live and learn. Anyway, Gio told me his ideas. I thought they sounded amazing. He expressed, I think that it's cool to share because it was inspiring to me too, to be reminded about these things, all this stuff for us. But he was talking about how just making everything based on hearing it, singing it and hearing it. So you don't need to get tied up into the intellectual, what's this scale, what's the harmony, all this kind of stuff. Just like interactive with it with your voice. Can you sing along with the melody? Get a sense of it, learn it that way. Can you sing a little solo? And then put your body, let your body follow that, what your mind is already coming up with. And it's so great. And he just had this, in our conversation, he had this kind of just, I don't know quite how to describe it, a kind of relaxed but very dedicated and passionate sort of demeanor about him. It was very fun. It turned out to be a really nice conversation. No surprise, but surprisingly, because I didn't think it was going to just wind up into a cool hangout. And we talked about a lot of stuff. Anyways, I want us to watch a couple of videos of Giorgio because he's, in my opinion, really great. I really enjoy his music. We're going to watch this one, Tango por Claude. And then there's an older one on his channel that I found that he's just killing it. I think it's about 10 years old. But here's this one, says it's from 19 hours ago. But it's actually from 4 years ago at Berkeley. Beautiful. And full of passion, man. Just playing his heart out. Let's check a little bit of this out. Not the whole thing, but watch a little bit of this, and then we're gonna check out the awesome video that Birdie Wooster put in the chat. I was looking for videos of him this morning because I wanted to share his music, and I found this one. I don't, it's always like a lot of times I don't know what he would think if he would want this, but it's on his channel, so, and I like it. It's just old is the only thing. But I have old videos on my channel that I'm really happy with. I'm gonna skip forward because it starts rocking. Yeah, that's Gio rocking out, just inspiring musicianship and ideas, control the instrument, everything. All right. Okay, so this is great. I'm happy to hear Birdie Wooster. So far, we only have 2 contributions. I want to remind everybody watching, kick something in, send it to me. Share some cool videos with us. let's see. I got to go to this video. I have to get into the other tab here. Here we go. I saw Sunpie on, what was that? Sunday, the Sunday that I was in New Orleans, the last Sunday. And I took Jacques and Natalie there and Kayla, and they just were just blown away by Sunpie. Let's check this one out. Here we go. Cool. Ah, yeah, perfect suggestion, Birdie Wooster. All right. So Sunpie is a musician. I'm pretty sure he's been living in New Orleans for a long time. You can find him performing there. Super amazing musician. Let's check this out. It's called Blues in Creole. And this is from Preservation Hall. I do want to plug this. This is cool. Preservation Hall, you may or may not know, it's a they're located in the French Quarter. It's a venue, but they are they preserve a certain tradition of New Orleans jazz music. They have a lot of output, and they really upped their online educational output during COVID. Sorry. They have a lot of educational content. They don't have any playlists, but on their website, they have a lot of educational content. Oh yeah, here we go. Lessons. Check out all these lessons. This is awesome. Drumming, African percussion, dunum bells, the djembe, lots of cool stuff. Yeah, they have all kinds of cool stuff. All right. So this is Sunpie. Here we go. Thank you, Duck Brook.
Many different forms of blues music. Some of them are low-down blues, sophisticated blues. We have Creole blues. We have blues from the Mississippi Delta. Sometimes it's soft and gentle. Sometimes it's hard-boiled, like a hard-boiled egg. But when you hear it, you know it's blues. It's just like great New Orleans jazz. So we're going to play a little bit of blues right here. Now, this blues I'm going to play for you, I'm going to sing it for you in Creole French. Comment réveiller ce matin, soleil a bien levé. Oh ma négresse, quoi t'as fait avec moi, cher? Oh ma négresse, mais quoi t'as fait avec moi? Quand au roi dans mes figures, tu connais tout quelque chose, c'est les causes de toi.
Hey. Yeah. So good. So we saw him at this this venue called Dos Jefes Cigar. It's way uptown. So it's like pretty far away from the French Quarter. And I thought it was really cool because he has quartet. It's his band and bass, guitar, drums. And he had the band play about, I don't know, 3 or 4 tunes without him to open the set, which I thought was really cool because it gives, for a number of different reasons. It was great music. You get to hear those members of the band featured a little bit more, you know, or in a different capacity, I should say. The singer or the drummer was singing. It was great. And it also it's just a cool sort of showbiz sort of thing. And I don't mean anything negative about that. I mean, the presentation for the audience it's cool. It sets you up, you know, you're kind of working your way into it. Very cool. I don't know that I've seen that really before ever at a show like that, you know, maybe at like a big like stadium act, but that was cool. Really cool. Let's check out a little bit. Duckbrook, we're going to get to you in a second, but let's check out a little bit more of Sunpai and watch a little bit with Sunpai's band. Let's see over here. And I think I had the same video actually on my list already because I had just seen him. And I'll say in the car ride home, Jacques was talking we took an Uber there and an Uber back to the hotel. And Jacques Mornay was just, man, the independence. And he, you know, Sunpai singing, his left hand is playing these bass lines and his right hand's comping and filling and taking solos and stuff. And then Jacques, earlier in the week, he had talked about the bass and how to Jacques, the bass is the thing that gives the rhythmic pulse to the music, you know, especially in an ensemble without drums, you know, it's the bass player. And so he just kept calling it rhythm. He's playing rhythm in his left hand. He's playing rhythm, which was, I guess, sort of unique. And for me too, I can't think of too many other accordion players where the main way they use their left hand when they're playing is to walk bass lines. I know they're out there, but let's see. This is from 11 months ago. Let's check this out. At Louis Armstrong Park, right in the French Quarter, across the street. Man, I lost myself in that song. I'll tell you what, that's just amazing. All right. Sunpai. Just whew. Some people, there's just so much music in that city, New Orleans. It was cool. I think last year was the first. Well, last year was the first year that Jacques and Natalie Cinema came over, and I think we were everybody was so new, and there was a little bit more walking with the outside, and it was a little bit later in the year. Everybody was hot, tired, and I don't think really too many people went out to see music last year. But this year, a lot more people went out, and that was cool. And I know some people. There's a place called Rock and Bowl. It's like Rock and Bowl. It's a bowling alley, and then on the second floor they have a big venue. And on Thursday nights, pretty much every Thursday, they have Zydeco music, which there's not a ton of Zydeco music in New Orleans compared to the rest of the music that's there. Sarabella says, "Rub it in." Because Zydeco music is more from Western Louisiana and Texas, like kind of all the way out. As far as I understand it, the connection goes all the way like to Houston, and like horse people and that kind of culture and stuff. But anyway, Rock and Bowl is a place, and I know some people went and saw, who was it? I'm trying to remember. Chubby Carrier. I don't remember exactly who it was. I don't know. Some great Zydeco musician there. Anyway, all right, let's check out Duck Brooks. So this is a suggestion in the chat from Duckbrook. Thank you very much. And Duckbrook says, "This is it's another Cha video. Cha changes people's lives. That's what I know. Everybody, especially every violin player that I know, like from Django and June, that met Cha was just like sort of, their understanding of music and the violin and stuff sort of was a different thing afterwards." So Duckbrook says, "This is my favorite Cha piece. Only a few musicians move me like he does." And Duckbrook says, "I was first introduced to him at Django and June 2013, where Duckbrook says that they were also introduced to me. That's right. I met Duckbrook for the first time 10 years ago. Can we believe it? We were 10 years younger. Oh, this is cool. Great. Dennis Chang from Montreal, Canada. This is great. All right. Oh, this is 1 year. Okay, 1 year later. Who we got? Paul Van Dyke on bass. Will Dickerson, rhythm guitar. Whoa, organ. Oh my gosh. There's going to be organ in this? Holy cow. All right, this sounds really cool. Let me get the appropriate caption. My neighborhood street is excited that we can tell. Here we go.
I will not be playing guitar for most of this song because unfortunately, I don't know if you guys are aware, but from where he's sitting, those pipes are blasting noise straight into his ear, and he cannot hear us. Therefore, I will have to make my debut as a conductor.
Holy cow! From the first note to the last note, my gosh. Wow, full body goosebumps. That was unbelievable. Wow, Duckbrook, thank you. Yeah. What an experience. It's wild, you know, the power of music. There's an online event which I've pitched to the ATG, which is one of the nonprofits, the biggest. I think they got the most going on these days. Their leadership and their the people that are making things happen in the ATG right now are really turning out some great stuff. They're very dedicated, and they're making some awesome things. If you're an accordion player in really any English-speaking world, I would suggest you become a member to support them, and also you get access to these. Basically, every other Wednesday they put on an online event. It's called the ATG. That's the Accordionists and Teachers Guild. It's a guild. Anyway, we just on Sunday we had the second of these Teach Talk events, which is this like vision that I came up with back in December of last year, and I pitched it to the president, and then it took a little while because it's a nonprofit organization with a few steps and layers and whatever. Anyway, we had our first event back in April maybe, and then we had the second one in June, just on Sunday. And that event was sort of based around this reading that got sent out. Michael Bridge, who has just finished his doctoral thesis up at the University of Toronto in accordion, fabulous concert accordionist. He had this. He gave us a chapter, a section of a chapter from this book that was pretty dense, pretty like it's kind of sociological type thinking. About it was called Musical Thinkings and Knowings, and I read it once and then we talked about it for about an hour, and I'm not an expert on it, although it was fascinating. But one of the things that it breaks down the kind of the ways of doing music, the aspects of doing music, I would say, if I was to paraphrase, into these different ways. So you could talk about music like, oh, the performance that I saw of Sun Pi at the Dos Jefes and this bass line was amazing, or, we can talk about it, sort of an abstraction of it. You can know it because you are, you've done it. That's a way of knowing. It really, it's these ways that are to serve an intellectual understanding for people that like that, and to serve further education, the further the service of it. One of the aspects, one of these musical thinkings and knowings was, where's my notes here? They're right here on the ground, and then I won't have to paraphrase. I wrote them all down. It's still on the pad. It was something like situational. Here they are. Procedural, verbal, experiment. What I wrote is not a word. Experiential, situated, intuitive, appreciative, ethical, supervisory. Those would mean nothing to you without the accompanying text, but situated is the one that I want to bring up, because now this has infected me now as I'm thinking about this kind of stuff. That I guess the point of what I'm trying to say, long-winded rambling, is like, isn't it amazing that we know our experiences with music are always more profound and more powerful when we're in the room in front of the musician. And even when you're in the concert hall, man, if you can be in that first row, the experience is so much better. Sometimes I'm just like, I gotta sit up front in front of this musician. Natalie Bouchex, for example, one of the teachers, she gave about a 30-minute or so, 40-minute concert both Fridays. And I said, I want to be up front and just get right in front of her to experience that. But how amazing is it? I don't know if you all experienced this the same, but with that, the Cha video we just watched, not in the room, but still tons of feeling, tons of emotion just coming out of the speaker. It's miraculous the way that works. With the ATG stuff, the idea that I pitched them that I still feel so connected to is to bring accordion educators together monthly for the purpose of sharing, communicating, talking in a very supportive environment. And really that's it. And I think from that, a lot of great stuff will come. That is my vision. And I think it looks like that with the schedule of the ATG, they produce a ton of really awesome stuff. It seems like monthly just might not work out for them. So I may supplement with something else. I don't know if it's going to be with NAC, if NAC is still around, or just my own thing. But for any accordion educators out there, if that sounds fun, look for me to promote that more. I really feel strongly about bringing us together to talk about all the aspects, the very, very practical to very sort of more theoretical, spirit, money, the craft of teaching, the craft of working with people, the craft of managing, all that kind of stuff. I think that we can all benefit from all that. And the secret is just coming together in a cool environment. Anyways, okay. Russell in PA says, Dallas, are you back here in the Philly area? Well, I'm in the Lehigh Valley area, Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. So not that far from Philly. I'm going to be playing. I don't think I have any gigs coming up in the Philly area. Although I might be playing in Wilmington, maybe in November. there's a cool church that does some concerts. So I might be doing a solo accordion concert there in November, which is a very short drive from Philly. I'll have that up on my website, dallasfietti.com. And actually, Hot Bijou, my band Hot Bijou, is doing a reunion show at Music Fest this year on August 12th here. So great. I'm glad that you asked that. Driftless Dawn, any gigs in Chicago? I will be playing on one of the afternoon concerts for this ATG festival. I'm going to the ATG festival this year to meet all these fine people. One of the things I'm most looking forward to is this. I've heard lots of people over the years talk about this experience working with, I believe she's 89 years old, a powerhouse, vibrant, amazing accordion educator and performer, Joanne Cochran Summers, who I've gotten to know just a little bit through these meetings. And man, is she, I think dynamic is a word I'm stealing from a friend talking about somebody else, but I think it's an appropriate word about Joanne. She's dynamic. She's full of vivacity, just the type of personality that is just so beyond enthusiastic, just tied to living the musician's life, the music educator's life. She's really cool just to experience again through Zoom. She leads this mass band, and in fact, she was one of the people that I was going to talk about on the stream and kind of share this stuff about ATG. So I will be there. I forget. I will promote again. It's happening in July. I got to figure out the date. I think it's the Friday. It's one of the afternoon concerts. Driftless Dawn. If you feel like coming, it's not in downtown Chicago. It's in, I want to say it's in Lyle, I think, which is like where the convention center or the hotels or something are. It's not at the convention center. It's at a hotel. But I'm going to be there for that festival because I've never been to it. And let's see if I can find my playlist here. Yeah, okay. So I thought I would show an example of Joanne playing her artistry. This happens to be a duo with a guy from the area, a concertizing bayan player named Stas Venglevsky, who's a phenomenal musician and composer. And I think he composed this fugue in B minor. I better get my facts straight. Yeah, original composition for 2 accordions, performed. So we'll get to hear Joanne Cochran Summers play along with Stas. And then maybe we'll check out a little bit of her conducting. And she's supposed to be a very, very intense conductor that is very demanding of you and hears everything. She knows all right, the 6th person on accordion part 5, don't miss that note again. Let me start that over. The beginning of this is important. Sorry about that. Okay. Epic. I did not see that. I don't even know what you call that. Was not a Picardy third at the end, but very cool. Very, very cool. And fun to see, two accordion players playing so well together. Their communication, line of sight. I wish we could see Joanne's left hand, which we couldn't because of the music stand, but that's cool. It was a little hard for me watching them both and hearing where all the different voices were coming from, but it definitely seemed like she was playing both hands and it sounded like chromatic bass, free bass. Very cool. All right. Anything else in the chat from you guys? Nothing yet. That's okay. It's not too late to put something in the chat. If you want. What am I gonna do? Consult my list. Oh, I know. Here. Why don't I talk a little bit about share some of the things that I discovered. Or this is where I'm at with my understanding. I think that's a good way to put it, because who knows? In a couple months, I might describe it differently. And a couple months ago, I would have described it differently, I think. So this is kind of the further understanding of these ideas. Put up the right captions here. Accordionaire. There we go. All right. So working at these stage intensives with Jacques and Natalie, there is definitely a method, and Jacques is a master educator, Jacques Mornay. Natalie Bouchex as well is. It's the method of Jacques. And I think what I want to say is, I think one of my insights, which I see Stas playing this way, is that one of the things they tell you at the very beginning, and we've looked at this, the bellows get moved as a fan. And that's very important. So this is the bellows like a fan opening, and this is the bellows like a fan closing. Now, they can stay like a fan as long as your arm is, and as long as the bellows could open. At a certain point, the bottom folds are gonna have to come apart. If you depending on the size of your accordion, your arm, all that sort of stuff. But regardless, even if they do, you're always thinking about the bottom folds touching as much as they can. And so for further discoveries, and this is not the first time I've heard this, this would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This would have been my 5th and 6th weeks with Jacques and Natalie, cumulatively since about a year ago. I went first in June and then August, and then 2 weeks in February, and now two more weeks just a few weeks ago. So the 5th and 6th. And continuing to develop this idea. So these exercises and articulations, I'm understanding more and more are all based on this idea of, I want you to see the folds of putting the pressure on the bellows. So I'm thinking of kind of this like down onto my leg and also opening, or down onto my leg and also closing. And that creates this compression that you can play, that creates this this cushion of air that you can play on. I didn't want that. What was that? Where am I? There we go. So if I'm going to play that, I didn't like that compression. It's very hard to talk about and show. It's very experiential, but I'm pushing sort of down onto my leg, and I want to try to get the pressure. I'm thinking about the compression being really good and really solid and going down to those folds. That's the point at which I'm trying to press. So I'm not trying to press my palm here or here or here or here. I don't want to press this way. I want to press in a way that the force goes down like that. So here or here or here, if this sort of makes sense. And from this, then all the exercises that they show become much, much more doable, and you get a lot more out of them. Right. And the other thing that they're really big about is your touch. So not only different articulations, this whole family of 4 core articulations that serve as the fundamentals, and then in real life, in real playing, there's a big variety of sort of infinite varieties of what needs to happen. But also the touch. And the touch is how far you're pressing the keys. So here, and you can hear the distortion. I was trying to get that legato. Let me play that again, but with pressing. That was me playing on the surface. Now, if I play pressing down all the way, it's a different tone quality, different vibe, you know, and the accordion feels different. And it's not necessarily better or worse. It's just different, different set of tools. So this is kind of just playing more in sort of an expressive ballad style. And again, not that everything is going to be like that. You're going to press down and attack the keyboard. Let's see, I wanted this one. So combinations of down, I'll kind of part way down, not all the way. That's kind of down, but I could attack it. Let's see. Minor. So I guess what I'm just trying to show is just different ways of touching the keyboard. So these are lightly, and then heavy. You can hear it qualitatively, I think. The quality changes. Or, and I do not have the ability yet to play fast with that control, but it's something that I'm beginning to get to. And I think just the thing I wanted to talk about was just that air. Thinking of that air always going. And then there's these various kinds of exercises. One that I've been doing is Jacques broke it down. He wrote out like about 20 exercises, starting with very, very basic combination of moving the bellows before and then play a note. And then relax and then move and in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Let me change the clarinet. 2, 3, 4. So you're thinking about making the air and then putting the note on top of the air. And I've been doing that pretty much every day since I got back. I took a couple days off to rest, but been practicing a lot. Very, very inspired. And that's been really cool. The big revelation is that for me, which is also the method, we look at so many different kinds of accordion music on this channel. I could never say for a natural law for all music at all. That would not be true. But for me, it works. I mean, I'm really into this way of putting the force and compression down to the folds. So opening, closing that way. And you can see my palm shape. Can be soft, but it's supported. Okay. All right. So these discoveries of air, how you use the bellows, and conceptually, it seems like really, really simple, but it's very deep. It's very deep and makes a huge difference. So they talk about this thing called the rhythm pyramid that you use a lot in the left hand, and if you're using chords and stuff in the right hand. And I think, to me, like as I show it to my students and stuff, which is a big part of this, I'm going to call it the pyramid of air, because what I have come to understand that I didn't understand when I first was shown this, is, I'm sure they said it, I just didn't get it as a learner, is the exercise kind of works. You're doing the exercise properly when you're putting it all in this cushion of air. So it's as much about working this beautiful, consistent, supported breath of air and your fingers pressing on that air. It's as much that as the exercise to teach their fingers where to go on the accordion. Again, as I say it, it's probably like obvious, but these are kind of my big realizations that have really helping. And the more I practice and get these skills together, the happier I am. I think like there's this sort of like, I don't know if I'm using the word cognitive dissonance correctly, but there's something biofeedback that happens. So I'm playing, I'm improvising, and then I play something I don't like. I don't like the feel of, and I don't like the sound of. And I stop. It interrupts my flow. And with this, my technique is changing in a way that less and less I'm getting interrupted because the accordion's not working the way I want it to. I can't get the music out. And more I can get the music out that's in my head, and it's just kind of that loop of what we're hearing in our head, what we're making in our bodies, and then what's coming back to us through our ears, back to our brain. For me, this is just my little diary to you all, you know, as I'm sort of recounting my experiences over the last few weeks. Cool. Larry says, I attended a few ATG festivals in the 90s. That's awesome. What were they like? I imagine things were popping off still in the 90s. Yeah, if you got a chance. Let me go to my notes. I have some other cool stuff that I've been into. Let's see, we did Giorgio, we did Yusa Sampai, talked about all that stuff. Oh, another thing that I'm trying to organize is for anybody in the Madison, Wisconsin area, in September, I'm going to go play a gig there, and I want to try to organize a small, like maybe 2-hour accordion workshop for people. So I'm working on a venue for that in Madison that will be around the same time as that festival that I'm playing. Let's see, we did that. I think the only other thing that I had prepared that I thought was cool, which is since there's no other things in the chat and we're coming up to the end, was I've been into this. I found another like teaching masterclass video by Rodolfo Medeiros, and that one is really cool because he goes. Let's see, where is that? Did I not add it? Oh, I didn't add it. Hang on. Here it is. Hey Zev, great to see you. There we go. Okay. This one is cool. It's I think it's actually an advertisement for a workshop or for these like online masterclasses, I think. But he goes into a lot of detail on stuff, and there's some really cool moments. I just personally, I love, he's like maybe my most favorite bandoneon player, which is saying a lot because I like a lot of bandoneon players. Composers and performers and stuff. I like most of them actually. But let me get the banner out of the way so we can see the subtitles. But there's a couple cool things in this. He talks about, I'll go to this one first, around 30 minutes. He talks about, you're gonna have to, if you're not fluent in Spanish, you're gonna have to read the subtitles. Which maybe I'll interrupt and I'll say them out loud if you can't see, if you're on a phone or something, or you're just listening. But at this point, he's kind of come across a bunch of different expressive components about playing the bandoneon, playing music in general, playing tangos, interpreting tangos on the instrument. But Now he talks about like the other most important thing is to play without fear. And I think that's really, really good for us all to hear and be reminded of.
Y así uno podría ir, como quien prepara la comida, ir poniéndole condimentos para que esto suene más rico. El tema que nos queda ahora importante también es, como dije antes, el cómo tocar, el cómo se produce el sonido. Ya los sonidos han sido elegidos, los acordes han sido elegidos, las notas de las que están hechas todos estos elementos ya están, los modelos del acompañamiento, todo esto ya está, los adornos, ya todo eso está.
All right, I'm just trying to get this so you can see him. Oh, we'll do that one.
La primera, o quizá la única recomendación, la única sugerencia es tocar sin miedo.
Okay, so he said, all right, now how do we play? Once you have all the elements, which he's talked about, like I said, voicings and tempo and ornamentation and stuff. Now, how do you play it? And he says the most important thing is to play without fear. And he's going to talk more about that.
El miedo no es buen compañero de viaje, la verdad. Cuando uno se equivoca y es un ser humano y tiene que equivocarse alguna vez. El que no se equivoca nunca comete el primer error, que es pretender no equivocarse nunca. Yo creo que así no puede ser la vida, yo creo. La vida es un acierto llena de errores.
Life is a success full of errors. I love that. Life is a success full of errors. Maybe I can put my... Sorry, it's just the subtitles are way down at the bottom. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can not cover up the subtitles. There's no way to do it. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm fidgeting with this. Okay. So he says, you're going to make mistakes in life, Life is a success full of errors.
Yo creo que es un poco eso, ¿no? Entonces, tocar sin miedo. Nadie va a venir a pegarme, ni deberé pagar un dinero por las pifias, ni me someteré a ningún vejamen. Si me equivoco, me equivoco. Todos vamos cometiendo errores. Nos vamos haciendo justamente a partir de los errores.
We learn, we develop ourselves by making mistakes. No, don't worry. Play without fear, and it's okay. If you make a mistake, no one's going to hit you. Nothing bad is really going to happen.
De entender esos errores y de mejorarlos.
Which, I interpret, the text is obvious, but I think this is, to me, I interpret this as play hugely, without fear. Like for the musician, we have to give, and there's so much to risk. The more you give to people, the more risk there is that you can get hurt by that, because you become more and more vulnerable the more that you give in relationships and music is a relationship. It's something that Jacques Mornet brings up when you're at his workshop. He talks every time I've taken the workshop. He's mentioned to be a musician is to give to people. And yes, we satisfy ourselves. Musicians satisfy themselves by making music. It's very pleasurable for us, but also have to remember that you are playing for other people and you're giving to them. You're giving to the people listening in your community, wherever you're performing. And you have to do that. That's really important. And not only that, but you have to love those people in a big way, in a big community sort of way, which I think is a really awesome thing for us all to be reminded of and to contemplate. And I think in this way too, this lines up. So it's of course, we all know, don't be afraid, but it's like, go, give big, which is all this learning stuff I love. It's just how much further down the road. We've all heard these things before, but just go further.
La primera cosa es esta. O sea, si voy a tocar con la melodía, tengo que tocarla con claridad. Las notas tienen que entenderse todas. Si hay un acento, el acento tiene que ser claro y preciso. Tengo que comunicar eso al otro. No puedo quedarme como detrás de un vidrio, como en una especie de bruma. Tiene que ser todo claro. No de manera amenazante o de manera, ¿cómo es este? No me viene la palabra ahora. Agresiva, ahí está. Pero sí de manera clara y precisa.
Everything you do in your music needs to be clear and able to be understood. Say things clearly, which is always a great thing to be reminded of when we're working on something new. You know, we're trying to understand it.
Que el que reciba esta música, sean los acordes que fueren, las notas que fueren, los adornos que fueren, que los reciba con claridad, con seguridad. Como cuando uno habla y quiere decir lo que dice, equivocado o no, estoy diciendo lo que estoy pensando y sintiendo. Esa es la primera cosa. Respecto de todo este tema hay algo que es fundamental y es, siempre escuchamos hablar del fraseo. La palabra fraseo es un poco ambigua, quiere decir muchas cosas. En realidad,
so he's talking about what does the word phrasing, we always talk about phrasing, what does it mean? And he says, phrasing is how I present the phrase.
Frasear es cómo presento la frase, cómo construyo la frase, entendiendo como frase el primer fragmento completo, la primera idea completa, total, que son...
A phrase is a complete idea.
Normalmente 8 compases.
So I think this might be something specifically for, I don't know if this is a general music thing. Nobody's ever said this to me, so I'm going to interpret it as something specific to maybe a lot of tango music, but he says normally the first phrase is 8 bars.
Frasear es presentar la frase. Presentarla significa de manera coherente, atractiva, que vaya generando una cierta emoción y un cierto deseo de seguir escuchando. La música escrita no tiene escrito un fraseo. El fraseo jamás debería escribirse, aunque algunos lo intentan, pero para mí es el primer pecado que se comete.
So phrasing is something I'm adding stuff. It's something that's very personal and of the moment, and you can't write it down, and you shouldn't write it down. And good phrasing should make you want to keep listening.
Fraseo es como intentar escribir una sonrisa.
It's like trying to write down a smile.
No se puede escribir eso. Simplemente uno se sonríe o no se sonríe y punto. Entonces, el fraseo no se escribe. ¿Cómo se escribe la música? ¿Cómo es una partitura? Y con la pobreza que tiene, o la riqueza, si queremos, de escritura. La música tiene corcheas negras, blancas, etcétera, etcétera, sostenidos, bemoles, claves, pentagramas. Tiene todo eso para ser escrita. ¿Pero esa es la música? No, esa no es la música. Ni lejanamente es la música. Eso es una especie de ayuda a memoria, como una especie de agenda. Entonces el músico tiene que, con esos datos, con esas corcheas, con esas...
The written music is lacking so much. It's just a reminder of certain elements, but it's up to the musician themselves to add the richness.
Negra, con esos sostenidos, con esos bemoles, tiene que hacer otra cosa. Tiene que ponerle esa sonrisa que no tiene la partitura. Este es el fraseo.
And that's what phrasing
El fraseo está hecho sin cambiar ninguna nota, sin entrar en la zona de la cirugía y cambiar y poner, ¿no? sin hacer eso. Tiene que lograr plasticidad en el toque. Esa melodía tiene que quedar plásticamente como un bailarín.
This is great. The melody has to end up like a dancer. How beautiful is that?
Como una bailarina que se mueve y salta y cae lentamente. Eso sería el fraseo.
And I think specifically, in tango, it seems to me that the pursuit of tango is very much, there are times when you're playing, ensemble, things like that, where everybody's, it's repertory music. The articulations, everybody has to move and play exactly the same because that's what it is. But there's a lot of time in tango music, like many other styles of music that we all play and enjoy, where the music comes alive and is different every single time we play it, and that's what he's talking about here.
Una melodía no fraseada, como si camináramos como un soldado que va marcando los pasos. Una melodía escrita sería esta, por ejemplo.
So he's going to play a counter example of he's going to play what not to do, which is a melody where it's just expressionless, and it's just somebody just like a soldier walking, boom, boom, boom.
3, 4 y. 3 y 1. 2, 3 y 1. No sigo porque es una vergüenza ya todo esto, pero se dan cuenta cómo es esto. Ahora, a esto a mí me da deseos de...
Now we're gonna play the feeling.
Y digo lo mismo y no digo para nada lo mismo. Son esas notas, pero
So I say the same thing, but I don't say the same thing at all. Very cool. Very cool. This guy is amazing. They are the same notes, but another world.
otro mundo. Este es el fraseo. La fórmula inmediata a la cual uno recurre...
Okay, then he's going to get kind of more in depth, and this is good. That's a good place to stop. There's another part of the video that's very cool, but I think that this live stream is good for today. Thank you. We spent a nice 2 hours. I want to remind you that, let's see, I plan to be back every Tuesday now. I had my little 3 weeks off, but I'm back. Thank you, Bertie Wooster, and everybody that was checking this out. I'm always experimenting with this format because this technology is just always changing. And all these, mega corporations, their rules are changing and stuff. So we'll see. I'm continuing to multi-stream, even though Twitch has just said that you're forbidden to do it. I think it's really good for me today I was live here on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on Twitter. I don't think anybody is watching me on Twitter because I just made the account this morning, but I'm trying to spread the word that way. This is really great. I want to plug the community website, which is fundamentally, let me spell it right, community. There needs to be an N in there. Spelling is not one of my strong suits. If you haven't made an account on the new community site 2.0, I encourage you to do it. It's free. I have some free learning materials, and I do about every other day or so. I put a new sort of question of the day up, which is a fun little prompt. People share things, people ask questions. And it's also the site where I have other paid course material and stuff, but there's a lot to do on there without that stuff. And like I said, it keeps you, it's also where I list the calendar of the upcoming live streams, things like that. This was a blast. I really enjoyed myself. It's great to be back with you all. Thanks. I wish everybody great friendship and health and joy, and of course, good accordion music. So see you all next Tuesday, same time, same place.